That we hope he doesn't, and no one here along the North Carolina coast has to think about this year. But as we were saying early, we just have to be ready just in case. To continue the discussion this morning, I want to bring in our weather team across North Carolina, meteorologists Brittany Hamilton, Matthew East, and Tom Miners. This isn't just a problem here at Oak Island or up at Harkers Island. It's an issue that we all have to be ready for at the coast and across the entire state. I'll start with you, Brittany. Even farther up the coast at the Outer Banks, we literally have seen homes falling into the ocean even when we don't have hurricanes.
Exactly, Lee. And as mentioned in your story, some of those residents, they're trying to decide, okay, can we move these homes back, the ones that are close to maybe having those fall into the ocean as well. We've seen that over the past year, quite a few of those homes, as you're seeing in the video. Imagine that, you're trying to just live your daily life and you're having to be concerned about your home potentially falling into the ocean because of the erosion of these storms, with stronger storms coming in for hurricane season. And of course, we've been talking a lot about climate with sea level rise and also the frequency of some of these storms where we could see them a bit more often. So this is something that along the coastline, not just in Rodanthe, but in other parts of the coast and the entire state, we cover much of the state and we're pretty far from the coast in the areas we cover, Matthew, but we still see a lot of those impacts as well.
That's exactly right, Brittany. Those impacts often extend well inland. A very recent example of that just 2 seasons ago, that was Tropical Storm Fred. A lot of times the category 2, 3, 4 hurricanes get all the attention, but sometimes these systems that are quote unquote only tropical storms cause huge problems. Fred left a legacy of flooding behind. There were over 15 and 20 inches of rain with that tropical system in the western part of the state. The Pigeon River especially had tremendous flooding problems. That's where you see most of these images coming from. Along the Pigeon River also had numerous tornado warnings, over 30 tornado warnings associated with that tropical storm that actually made landfall way down on the Gulf Coast. Now, more about the impacts from hurricane season with a chat we had with the director of the National Hurricane Center, Tom.
That's right, Matthew, and he really wants to reiterate a lot of the points you've just made, too, that these hurricanes have impacts that extend statewide. So any new residents should take some of these words from Dr. Michael Brennan to heart.
I know that hurricanes are not just a coastal problem, especially in North Carolina. There can be significant impacts in the central and western parts of the state. And it's not just from storms that hit the coast of North Carolina. Central and western North Carolina are probably even more sensitive to impacts from storms that make landfall along the Gulf Coast and then move inland up through the southeastern United States, especially from a rainfall perspective.
Dr. Michael Brennan's full interview is available to watch right now on SpectrumLocalNews.com. A lot of interesting stats on his career as a meteorologist, even getting his education at NC State University in Raleigh, where both Lee and I went. So Lee, hopefully we'll see him lead the National Hurricane Center, and we'll lead the national, or really the view, the weather across the state, to hopefully seeing a less active hurricane season than we've recently had.
Yeah, that's certainly the hope. Of course, we've got to remember it only takes just one storm, and we're just getting started on hurricane season this June 1st. The Atlantic season isn't officially over until after Thanksgiving at the end of November. September is typically the most active month. Our entire team across the state, of course, will be working hard for you over the next several months to keep you ahead of the storm.
A big thanks to our team of meteorologists.
Spectrum News 1 is helping you prepare for this year's hurricane season. Now, as you saw, we have the largest on-air team of meteorologists in the state with decades of combined experience tracking storms. Watch our Storm Season 2023 special this coming Thursday, June 8th at 8 p.m.
You'll hear from our weather experts as well as North Carolinians impacted by past hurricanes to learn ways to better prepare for future storms. That's only here on Spectrum News 1.